going to hunt for buried treasures. We're going to dig deep for the richest ingredients in Chinese cooking. Let us unearth the flavors of underground cuisine. The first thing I want to show you is a very, very interesting dish, very popular dish when I was growing up. It's fragrant beef with vegetable stew. And all the vegetables we use are underground delicacies. All I'm going to do is I have some beef shank. This is a beef shank. This is part of the lake because today I have to do some lake work. And I'm going to put this right over here, and I remove the bone, but we're not going to throw the bone away because the bone is going to give us a flavor, okay? Remove the bone, remove the bone. Set the bone up over here, see? And then cut it into bite-sized pieces. 1, 2, put them all together, stack them all up. 1, 2, 3. When you cut, make sure you pay absolute attention and look at what you do. Don't go 1, 2, 3. And then after that, you transfer this from here to here. Look at this. How do you transfer? You transfer like this. 3, 2, 1. And then you're going to marinate the shank with a tiny bit of soy sauce. 1 tablespoon soy sauce and a tiny bit of sesame seed oil and also a tiny bit of salt or sugar. Tiny, tiny bit. If you want, you can even put a tiny bit of cornstarch, okay? Make sure you marinate it well. Anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours up to overnight, okay? I have never marinated anything over 2 years. When this is nice and done, you use this long cooking chopstick, okay? Now I've been telling everybody one time, a few weeks ago, I think, a couple months ago on the show, and I said, use this chopstick when you go to Chinese restaurant instead of this chopstick. This chopstick, you're going to be starved to death because you cannot reach anything around. With this chopstick, you can grab foods all over the table, on the other table. You never go starving again. Now, first of all, we're going to heat up this big pot. This is like a stock pot, okay? We are going to brown this. But before you brown this, we got to flavor this first. So we're going to brown this with a tiny bit of garlic and ginger. Look at this. Minced garlic and ginger. Ha, done. Garlic, ginger. Ha, done. Ginger. More ginger. Okay? And I like ginger. More ginger. More ginger. Garlic. I like garlic. Garlic. More garlic. I am totally awake. And then put this right over here. Look at the sizzling sound. And then you brown this. Listening. Wow! This is what you call the excitement of cooking. Make sure you turn off your smoke alarm when you're doing this. Otherwise, you'll be running around and jump up and try to get the damn thing. I did that many times. And also, that's good because that's great exercise. You do this, and the smoke alarm sounds off, and you go. This is a kitchen exercise. Jennifer, you at home, you should do this while you're doing this. You should go. Do this. Marvelous brown. And then the next thing is you put all the seasoning in. Look at this. This is beef broth, about 2 to 3 cups of beef broth. Wow, beef broth. And also some dry sherry. 2 to 3 tablespoons up to 1/4 cup of dry sherry or rice wine. A tiny, tiny bit of sugar. And a tiny bit of bean sauce or hoisin sauce. Make sure to get it all inside there. Use a piece of meat to move them around. And then, if you want, more garlic. More garlic, more garlic, more garlic, more ginger, more everything. And then put it right in here. And then, when it brings to a boil, cover this up and let it simmer. In the meantime, we're going to get some spice back. Otherwise, you're not going to have fragrant beef with vegetable stew. You got to have some nice spices. Get a little cheesecloth, okay? Cheesecloth right here. I have several things here. I have star anise. Look at this, cute. Star anise. Star. And also clove and cinnamon stick. And also, this is dry tangerine peel. Okay? Put them all together right here. Okay? Tie them all up, tie them all up, tie them all up, tie them up, and dip it like a little, tie them all up with a little string right here. It's very, very, it requires patience. And you dip it in like a little tea bag. This is my cup of tea. Except this doesn't go with the crumpet. And we're going to let it sit there. You know why I do this? Because this way, this would not go. The spices would not mess up and go all over the place. You got the flavor out, but you don't have to pick up all the pieces. And we're going to cover this up after I put this in. I am going to put some wonderful daikon. They're also called turnip. And Chinese called lo ba. The Japanese call daikon, the Chinese call lo ba. It's white turnip, or you can call this white radish. Okay? Cut this up, cut this up, cut this up. This is how fast you can do it. Instead of doing one by one, you do it all together. 1, 2. You stack them all up like this. Look at this. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You cook all of this for about an hour. And then, after an hour, you put all of these in. Okay? Put all of these in. All of these. We're going to put them all here. Instead of, because this is no laughing matter. This is a serious thing. Because I haven't even cooked it for 10 minutes. That's why I refuse to put it in. And then also, I have some carrot. Roll cutting technique, carrot. This is how you do it. This is 2 roots, okay? Now, put all together, everybody. I even grow my carrot at home. This daikon is so damn big. But it's very crispy. Very crispy. Very, very juicy and flavorful, just like a giant carrot. I hate to see this size of this rabbit eat this daikon. When this is 2 hours, then you put it in. Time just flies. Then you cover this up, and then you have one that's already done for 2 hours. And you take it out, and I want to show you how beautiful this is. This is beautiful. You put this over noodle. Traditionally, you can serve this over rice or noodle or spaghetti or linguine. Nobody really cares. First, you remove this ding-dong back. Then you forget about the bones. Who cares about the bones? Remove the bone. No bones about bones. And then I put all of these right over here. This is how beautiful this is. If you want, you can even thicken this up a little bit. But the sauce is so beautiful and it's so colorful. Right before you serve, you put a tiny bit of green onion right on top to give some color contrast. And you have a beautiful, fragrant beef with vegetable stew. I have no bones about keeping bones. In fact, I use them for soup all the time. When you're not feeling good or when you're not feeling well, sometimes a hot bowl of soup can make you feel really good, feel better. So let me show you a Chinese cure-all. Long ago, our ancestors knew that herbs not only enhance the flavor of our food, but can also add medicinal value to it. So in China, if you're not feeling too well, the first thing you do is probably go to see a herbalist before you go to see a medical doctor. So instead of popping a couple of vitamin pills after meals, we put it in our meals. For instance, we have herbs like this in my background. Hundreds and thousands of herbs. Most of them are dry ingredients, either they're bulbs or roots or barks or blossoms. So For instance, these are some of the most popular ones. The red thing is called Mespilus germanica. And then we have Radis diocorea. And then we have Radis condonopsi. It's tough to pronounce. And here we have something else. Here we have the pearl barley. Then we have lotus seed. Then I have fox nuts, dry lily bulb, diocorea, polygontum, and dry dragon's eye. All of these you cook with lean chicken or lean pork. Make wonderful tonic. So remember, Chinese food doesn't only fill you up, it may be good for what ails you. I call this next dish a feel-good dish because every time I eat this, I feel good afterwards. The next dish I'm going to show you is what I call the ginger flavor yam. Here we have two roots. This is the yam, it's a root. And ginger is a root. The square roots of these roots is still a root. A ginger and yam. We're going to cut this up and we're going to microwave it in my microwave oven. We'll cut this up right in half. And we'll cut it up right in half. We'll cut it up right in half. And then we'll put it over here and we are going to microwave it for about 6 to 8 minutes over high heat. Now, this is a yam. And this is a sitting duck yam. Have you ever sitting duck yam? Dong, 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 dong. It fries. And then we cover this up and we are going to put it in the microwave oven. We are going to turn this on, microwave oven, and then pick this up. This is hot. It will be hot. That's why you have to do this. Always remember to use your pot holder. And this is so hot. I'm a brave guy. Then remove. Microwave oven is good because you can easily remove the skin like this. You see this? Very easy to remove the skin. That's why you microwave it. And of course, if you don't have enough time, you couldn't careless. You know? That's enough. And then you put them all, we will put them all together and we will do this particular dish later because I'm going to let it set because it's still too hot. I want to put it in and I cook some more yam. In the meantime, we are going to cook a dish we're going to call spicy stir-fry jicama with leek. Okay? This is jicama. We're going to slice the jicama. Jicama is very, very big. To save time, we are going to turn it on, my burner. Okay? Heat it up. And then we're going to stir-fry the jicama. Jicama is good because it doesn't matter what you do. It's always very, very tasty, juicy, got a nice texture. Done. It doesn't take too long. Now, if you are having a good time at home, you can always smile, just like the people in the studio audience. They're smiling. Karen. Okay. Put it right over here, okay? And then we also have some leek. This leek is wonderful. It's very, very spicy, and it's wonderful. And you wash it. This leek is in a leek of its own. Cut it up, cut it up, cut it up. Everything is all cut up, you see? Also, as I said, also get a tiny, tiny bit of ginger. Done. I want to show you how fast you can do the ginger. This is a hot wok. This is all the heat, all the oil you need. Put a tiny bit of ginger, stir fry. Now if you like hot and spicy food, make sure you use this chili pepper. 1 is hot, 2 is hotter, 3 to 4 is very hot. This is dangerous. We'll put them all over. And then put the leek in there, and then you put the carrot and the jicama in there, and this dish is so easy to do. I cannot believe it. Look at this. Stir. Put a tiny bit of chicken broth. Wow. Wow, this is marvelous. And also a tiny bit of white pepper, a tiny bit of dry sherry, and also a tiny bit of sesame seed oil, a few drops of soy sauce. And here you have a very delicious. All you have to do is thicken it up with about 1 portion of cornstarch and about 2 portions of water. Okay, put a tiny bit of heat in, more broth, and then you have beautiful dish. This is very, very good to do. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? What? When it's done, you're going to get a serving platter, and then you're going to put it right in here. And I want to show you, this particular dish is beautiful, and it's very easy to do when it's done. Wow, look at this. Magnificent. See that? The next dish I want to show you to finish it up is, of course, the root of the square root. It's still a root. And I'm going to put this over here, and we are going to do this ginger yam. Here is very, very easy to do. I put this already steamed. That's why I'm so glad that I did not put this in earlier, because it's so hot. It burns me up. It's still very hot. It is so hot. I hold on to it for about 3 seconds. I couldn't take it anymore. And put it over here. This is yam, about 2 pounds of yam. Okay, and also we have some ginger. We'll cut the ginger into smaller pieces. We're going to chop this up and put it right over here. We'll go, done. Put it over here. And then also, I'm going to put a tiny bit of sugar, okay, approximately 1/4 cup or less. A tiny bit of salt to give a taste balance, okay. And then also a tiny bit of orange juice. Orange juice is not only for breakfast anymore. Okay, look. And then put more, just right in here. Moves. It is driving me nuts. It's not moving. Move these around. This is getting very exciting. It's not listening. Put them all together. This is a very exciting dish because it's very interesting. When this is done, we're going to chop up some crystallized ginger. You can read a book. I am having fun. Finally, we got it. When you garnish, you should garnish it with mint leaf. It has been out for 3 days. So it looks so wonderful that you cannot believe it yourself. Oh, look at this. This is really good. It looks so good. I am telling you, I am impressed. It is truly delicious. Now, this is for one person. And you garnish it with this mildly dried up mint leaf. And put a tiny bit of this crystallized ginger. Fill it up with more mint leaf. You have a beautiful ginger yam. I want to show, a lot of people know that ginger is the most popular, most important ingredient in Chinese cooking. I want to show you how ginger is grown. It grows from a root and multiplies in the ground. This crop of ginger is about 2 months old, and only the leaves show at this point. At the right time, the dirt around the ginger root is cleared away to reveal the edible portion of the ginger. A ginger crop is ready for harvest, normally in about 12 months after it is planted. The ginger roots are washed and then dried on the rack for a week. And this is the finished product that you normally see in a grocery store. Now, the next dish we want to do is a chicken with taro in a clay pot. Every time you go to a Chinese restaurant, you see a lot of dishes are prepared and served in the clay pot. We're going to have some clay pot to show you. In this particular dish, all we have to do is I'm going to use approximately 1 pound of chicken. You can use chicken breast or chicken thigh, okay? Cut it up into pieces like this. 1, 2, put them all together. 1, 2, and 3. Put it right here, okay? Put them all together, and then you got to marinate this. Of course, it tastes better when something is marinated. Marinate this particular piece of chicken. And then put a tiny bit of cornstarch, exactly 1 teaspoon, and put a tiny bit of soy sauce, exactly 1.5 teaspoons, up to a tablespoon, and tiny bit of dry sherry, okay? Basic marinade for most of the dishes. And if you have time, you should always, after you handle chicken, always wash your hands. See, I have so much time. I always wash my hand. See, it's clean. And then after that, let it sit here, and then get a tiny bit of garlic and ginger. You're going to heat up my clay pot. I'm going to heat up the clay pot. You're going to have some shallot. All done. Shallot and garlic. Am I having fun? Yes. And put them all together, and then ginger. Put it all together, and then you say, this is all we need. And this is all together. Put a tiny bit of oil right here, and then we can saute this spicy vegetable. Use a chopstick, cooking chopstick. In the meantime, we're going to put the chicken in. All I need is about this much chicken, because this is cooking for 1. Me. And then you stir this. In the meantime, while you are browning this, you're going to cut up some Chinese sausage. Okay, this is Chinese sausage. And also get a piece of green onion. This is Chinese sausage. You can buy lean Chinese sausage, liver, duck liver Chinese sausage. You can even be beef Chinese sausage. Cut it up into little pieces like that. And you can throw all of these in while you're stir frying, because get the flavor out. In the meantime, I want to show you quickly, aside from this, chicken and taro in a clay pot. Here, I want to show you the different taro. Taro is a root, because today we're doing underground delicacies. Back to the roots. These are taro. This is taro. They come in different shapes, different size, and different color. This is taro, so is this, and this. What the heck is this? This is a ping pong ball. Taro comes anywhere from, it's a tuber. They come from anywhere from 4 ounces, vary to approximately 3 to 4 pounds each. This is 4 pounds. You drop it from the top of the house, you can demolish a car. Okay? And this is how you jiggle, learn how to juggle. They also come from different color. Also, this is purple. Can you see the purple color? They also come from yellow or white. You cut this up, 1, 2, 3. Cut into little cubes. Looks like a dice. And then you put them all together, cut up some mushroom, and you put all of this together. And then the final touch is you put dry sherry, flavor it, tiny bit of pepper, and then you turn on the heat after you put the chicken broth. Then you cover this up, and then you are ready to serve, because I have done this ahead of time. So this way, everybody can see this. This is chicken and taro in a beautiful clay pot. Now, as we have seen, so much beauty in the cooking world is lying below the surface of earth. So don't be afraid to get down to the roots of underground cuisine. Until next time, if Yan can cook, so can you. Join in.